Hey guys, Hi-Fri here. I just wanted to make a quick video. So this is the CVJ SYYO, I don't know, Konoka. I'm not sure what the SYYO is for because it says on the IM itself SYYO, SYYO. But then on the packaging it says Konoka, so I'm not sure. But anyway, these just arrived a day ago, and they're very popular already just because of the bone conducting or the vibration function. So I wanted to make a quick video just to clarify some things and kind of help you guys get the most out of these. Okay, so they they are marketing these towards gaming. Okay, so um, for proper use, okay, this is the proper use case scenario. You're not going to be wanting to use these for music. Um, you want to use them more for gaming. Now this includes things like explosions. You know, not really footsteps because they're not loud enough, but more or less explosion, bass notes, helicopters flying. Stuff like that. Anything that's rumbly or earthquakes, those kind of scenarios. That is what these drivers are for. So they have done right by at least marking this more towards gaming. Um, in my opinion, I wouldn't recommend these for music listening. Just based off of how they sound. Now, there's a few modifications you can make to these, and like I said, I'm going to show you some tips to get the most out of these because I think there's a lot of confusion, and I just want to help some people out before they go judging them without fully understanding these for what they are and what they are made for. So, anyway, this is the Konoka. All right, it's or SYYO, whatever. It's made by CVJ. It's got a one dynamic driver in it. It also has a balanced armature in the nozzle. Currently, I'm using the ear tips from Hi-Fi Go. These are the Dunu SNS tips because I was just curious if I thought I'd try them out and see how they sound. But anyway, so it features one dynamic driver, one balanced armature, and then it has this vibration driver on top. Now this is a traditional bone conducting driver. Well, not traditional. It's a little bit different. So this is a bone conducting driver. The only difference between this bone conduction driver, one second. All right, so the only difference between this bone conduction driver and say something like this bone conduction driver, so this is the, just move my light up a little bit more here. So this is the GD04. If you want to buy them, you can look them up online, but this is the GD04. This is 11 millimeters by 4, I want to say, no, 5. So it's 11 millimeters across by 5 millimeters deep. This is like a traditional haptic or bone conduction driver. This is a little bit different. Now, I found these on AliExpress over a year ago, and I actually tried buying them, but when I ordered them, the seller told me that they were sold out and they removed the listing. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And they just never got them back. And there's no other sellers that carried them. So when I saw these, I was like, oh, nice. But anyway, this is a smaller version. So this is the 11 by 5. This is a 10 by 4, I want to say. Maybe by 5. I think it's more shallow. No, it might be the same. Yeah, probably the same. So it's probably same thing, like 10 by 5 or whatever. But anyway, the difference between that one you're seeing and this one here is the face of this one is open. So it can actually communicate a little bit of air pressure, almost like a speaker. So if you notice, they have a little mesh just to keep dirt and debris from getting inside. So that's what the mesh is for. The hole is actually bigger on the driver itself. But inside the shell, the hole in the shell is just that little hole right there. But that's to relieve the pressure and helps it move a little bit more. I put these little dampeners over it to kind of cut it down a little bit just because it was too loud for me. Um, You can put tape over it if you want. You can put some micropore tape, or you can just use, any kind of duct tape, electrical tape, whatever tape. It doesn't matter. Any kind of tape you can put over it, if it ends up being a little too much for you. But like I said, the intention was never to use these with music. So people just have to keep that in mind. These are not for music listening, at least with this driver enabled. So the great thing about what CVJ has been doing recently, and I actually really like it, is the switches. So on a traditional IM, the switches are just to help tune it, and they slightly change how much electrical power any driver gets. But in this case with CVJ, what they've done that's different, it's a little bit lazier to do it, but honestly, it works out really well, and I think it's honestly a crazy thing that nobody else has really done it in the past. But instead of having these switches, cut down on volume a little bit, and kind of change the tuning that way, instead they enable and disable the drivers. So the 1 here is for the balanced armature. The 2 is for the vibration unit. So for example, if you don't like the sound of the vibration unit, you can just turn it off and then keep the 1 on, and then you have a DDBA traditional IM. Sounds like a normal IM. If the balanced armature is too much and you just want to have a pure single single dynamic IM, then you can turn that switch off. If you want the dynamic and the bone conduction unit or the vibration unit, then you can turn the second switch on. So that's the cool thing with these, and I'm a sucker for it. I think it works well. But anyway, so with these, obviously the first use case is going to be gaming. So you would ideally use them with gaming. Reviewing them with music is not the intended use case. So again, I just want to stress that, because I know a lot of audiophiles are going to get these and they're going to go, oh, they don't sound good with the thing. And it's because it's not marketed that way. It's marketed towards haptic, like gaming. So gunshots, explosions, rumbling, earthquakes, bass notes. So play like Modern Warfare or something with these, and then you'll kind of get the idea, and it'll make a little more sense to you. But anyway, so the tips that I wanted to give out for people are, if you are going to listen to music with these, ideally, so the vibration is not ideally communicated through the nozzle. The softer, okay, so here's tip 1. I'm just going to lay them out in 3 separate tips, okay? So these are 3 separate tips to get the most out of your Konoka or SYYO, whatever you want to call it. So the first tip is use a stiff ear tip. The stiffer the ear tip, the more the sound from here will be communicated into the ear. Okay, so that's tip 1. If you use a softer ear tip, it acts as a dampener and you will get less of the vibrations. Okay. Tip number 2 is you want to make sure that the placement of this driver is in your ear, is close to your ear. So you're going to have to push them in. You can't have it hanging by the ear like that and expect this driver to communicate the vibrations down and across and into the ear. It has to be actually touching the ear itself. Okay, so that's tip number 2. Now, because it's a flat face, it's kind of hard to achieve that fit. Now, if you want to, you could get silicone, like the not necessarily this stuff, but the ear mold silicone. So you can buy the ear mold silicone, and there are DIY tutorials online where you can mold a custom earphone ear tip to this device, and that's going to give you the best conduction between this and your ear. So go get the two-part, it's two-part like hearing aid or two-part earplug mold, okay? And you're going to want to pick some of that up, and you're going to push it in like a ball over the earphone, or you have to kind of mold it around the earphone a little bit, or probably mold it to your ear and then push this in. I'm not sure exactly how they do it, and maybe cut a hole in it. The instructions are online, but anyway, but you will make a custom ear tip that will cover the surface of this device, and then when you go to put it in your ear, now the vibrations can actually go across into your ear, okay? So if you're not having enough of the effect, like I said, the first thing you can try is a stiffer earplug. The second tip you can try is to push them in the ear a little bit more, or make a custom intermediate earplug. And here's tip number 3. Tip number 3 is an easy one. If you can't do the ear mold thing, okay, so here's the shape of the earphone, and let's just imagine my hand is an ear. Okay, so you have the shape of the ear or whatever. Take them and just rotate them forward where they're touching the tragus, or whatever I don't know, not tragus, that's your nose, but whatever the forward part of your ear is. So there's like where it kind of comes in and it curls. Push it forward, okay? So you'll have to rotate the IMs until it's actually touching that part of the ear, and you will be able to hear it more. It'll make more sense, okay? Now, if you've tried all those and you don't like the way it sounds and it's too boomy or whatever, then you need to plug the hole, okay? So you're going to have to plug the hole with some tape or a dampener or something like that, and that will change the sound of the vibrations. It'll cut down on the vibrations a little bit, and make them a little bit more bassy and less kind of in the mid-range. You won't get as much as the mid-range quality, because these sound kind of strange in the mid-range. You can see it on a graph, you can see the peak or whatever, but there's a big like mid peak, okay? So anyway, just keep those things in mind. Just keep in mind that it's for gaming. It's marketed towards gaming. At least this feature is. So don't buy them for music if they're marketed towards gaming, because you will be disappointed. I need to absolutely stress that. Second thing is, if you don't like them, there's several different things you can do. Like I said, you can, if it's not enough, rotate it forward. That's the quickest, easiest thing you can do, and you'll get more sound as your ear, the forward part of your ear, touches the earphone. And then if you want to bring it up or enhance it even more, get thicker ear tips. Okay, the thicker the better. Actually, the best might be to try foam tips. I haven't tried foams yet, but probably foam tips might work well. And then the third thing is if you want to go real extreme, you can get the custom mold and have the rubber and stuff molded around it. So anyway, guys, those are my 3 tips for kind of, learning or figuring out how to use the Konoka better and achieve the desired outcome. So because I know a lot of people are going to be really thrown off by these, and so just keep that in mind. That's the way to do it. You'll maximize your experience and it'll be good. I don't think they made instructions for these, but who knows. So anyway, with that being said, I will eventually do a teardown of these, and I will probably do a more in-depth review. I don't know if I really am going to review them or not. I did purchase these with my own money. These were not sent to me. But anyway, that being said, so the DDBA combo does sound decent. It sounds pretty good on its own. So if you're just looking for an IAM and $20 and you want to play around with the other feature, you don't have to use it. You can just put the second switch down. So if you take the second switch and move it in the down position, now it's just a hybrid. Now it's just DDBA, and they actually sound pretty decent. My pair has a channel imbalance, so I'm a little worried about QA or quality. I'm going to buy a second pair just because I bought these to harvest the drivers anyway. I didn't buy these to listen to or to enjoy. I literally bought them just so I could take these drivers because I'm that kind of sadist. But anyway, yeah, so, there might be a little QC issue there, but they're cheap. They're $20. I will say that they did a great job including a different cable. This cable is much better than the stock cables that they were including in the past. And what's the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, the driver quality is actually pretty decent. This, interesting enough, and I'll just end the video here, this balanced armature is the same balanced armature that KZ was touting a while back. You remember their black gold? So they had the balanced armature that they touted as like black gold and being superior to the other ones. This is the same one. So CVJ is using the same upgraded balanced armature driver. It's the black gold balanced armature. So, and they actually sound pretty decent. I would pick these up any day over the the KZ Krilla. Just because the timbre and everything is better. The tuning, not so much. I don't think the tuning's as good. I think the tuning on the KZ is probably a little bit better, even though it still has issues. But the timbre on this balanced armature is way light years better than the one on the Krilla. And then as far as the dynamic driver goes, it's pretty decent. It's not great. It's not bad. I mean, it's all right. It's good. But I think it's a similar, not the same. It's not the same one, but I think it's similar to it at least has like the same or similar coding to the one that is in the Zero, the Hexa, the Con, so the HBB Con, and something else there. I don't remember, but and maybe the Ola, but the Ola is an 11 millimeter. This is a 10 millimeter. So, but anyway, yeah, guys. So those are my tips. That's a little bit of information about the IMs. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, share it, give it a like. Tell people to subscribe, because when we hit 5K, I'm going to be doing an IM giveaway. I'm going to give away 5 sets of IMs. You guys can take your pick. I'm going to have a bunch of them to give away, and I will be giving people options for which one they would like. And once we hit 5K, then I'll have the rules and stuff and how to enter and whatnot. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you later. Peace.